Hi guys, I'm Sir Classy and you're welcome to another tutorial. And this is a beat breakdown where I'll show you how to remake, or rather how I remade the beats by Davido featuring Nicki Minaj called Holy Ground. I know how it normally goes. I play a little and then I'll take it apart and you see how the whole beats came together, and hopefully you pick something valuable from this tutorial. So let me press play and we'll take a listen. So yeah.
Really loud.
All right, so that's pretty much how the beat goes. And typically, I start with the drums. So we listen to the drums, I'll solo the drums, and we'll talk about the drums. Then we head over to the chords and the melodies and the bass line and the yeah, and then the song structure. So let's listen to the drums and see. I'll solo this here. All right, so over here we have the snare, just a snare. And in the snare, I linked it to the mixer to have a delay effect. This delay effect here, just just 1 millisecond delay effect or 1 step delay effect. Then I turn down the feedback so it won't be too loud, and I reduce the input volume also so that the delay effect itself will also not be too loud, so it will be like kind of subtle. So listening to just the snare, let me turn off the delay so I hear without the delay. With the delay, all right, so that's pretty much it for the snare. Then over here we have the kick. I didn't add any processing to the kick, nothing on the kick, just straight up kick, a rounded kick. Kick is like sounds kind of round and full at the same time. So, and over here we have some snare rolls. And the snare rolls, just I use 1/3 or 1/6 step to fill this in. Sorry, I used 1/4 step, not beat, 1/4 step to just point, like fill it in to get that rolls. So you may even like do this a little, kind of like to make it sound more interesting. To play with the velocity, can make it sound more realistic and interesting. So the drum lines for this beat was really simple. Was a no-brainer, really. Was the beat entirely is simple, but the drum lines were really simple. That's just it for the drums, the entire drums. This is just the structure for the drums. So next we'll play the chords. This is the 808, so I don't play 808 yet, so we'll play the chords. So you see this. That's it for the chords. Let me, so you can like, let me, this is the progression. Also, I changed the root key to F sharp on the third octave, F sharp. So in case if you play yours, it's not, this is key C. It's looking like key C here, but it's not really key C because I play key C, so I have to transpose it. So this progression is transposed in FL Studio to F sharp in the third octave. So everything here is transposed. So next we have this progression. What this is that it's a pad, kind of like a bell pad, to add some ambience to the main melody. It's from Purity. So that's, it's like I said, transposed. This is also transposed. Everything here is transposed. And then next, I played so over here we have the full steel from Purity. This beat was made mostly out of using Purity. So guitar unplugged sound on that full fruit steel plugin. This is how it sound. Then next we have this melody here. This is a kind of like a guitar pluck, a muted guitar from Nexus. So this is how the guitar sounds. Also transposed. Everything is transposed. And we have this also running in the melody. Like there was a lot of layering. These are called layering. When you play several chords with different instruments, they are called layering. Whether it's on the same octave, different octaves, but if it's the same chord progression with different instruments or different or whether I play the same chords on different octaves, it's called layering. I'm trying to get the sound to sound fuller or more interesting or more realistic. Depends on what you're trying to aim for, but layering is used a lot for making your beats sound fuller and more professional. So So this is a pad in Nexus, China pad on the Epic pads. All right, so what we have next is this sound right here. This is a bell. It's kind of faint. You may not hear it much, but this is a bell sound. That's a bell sound going in the background there. And then we have this also, this melody. This is a vocal synth sound. So Then we have a little run of melody here. This is with a piano sound in Nexus. Grand piano, Nexus grand piano. And then, of course, the 808s. So if you watch my tutorial before, you know that I use this 808 bloodline plugin a lot for my 808. It's an amazing 808 plugin. Like, you have lots of 808 options. They sound different, they feel different, so you have a whole lot to pick from. So yeah, that's it for the 808s. This is pretty much the first part of the song. Then over here we have this sound again. Just a melody running around in the background there. Also played with Purity. The soft EP trem in piano sound. I like the sound. So it's not actually in the original beat, but I just added it because I love the feel. I just added it in there. Then of course some layering. This is just an arpeggio chord. It's just an arpeggio chord. I use under muted guitar. I came to harp. Then I played with the settings here. I made it to go within 2 octaves, and I made the speed 1/16. So if I turn this off, this is how it sounds. But when I turn it on, so that's how it sounds. And then this sound. So what this sound is just an extra melody to when Davido was singing, like to add extra rhythm to what he was singing. It was played with a brass in under Purity. This beat is a very simple beat. This whole structure and choice of sound were really simple and straightforward. Then also in the verse we have some more 808s. Then we have regular bass line here. This bass line was played with Purity also. Bass guitar. This is one of my favorite bass guitars actually. I use this bass guitar a whole lot. I use it so much. So this is just, let me zoom in a little more so you can see the notes. This is the guitar. The bass played here really interacted with the drums. Let's hear it again and see. Let me play here. And it's very important that your bass interact with your drums. If you have drums in the song, your bass 808 or bass guitar or bass line or bass synth, you should really interact with the drums. You shouldn't be just playing an entirely different melody from your head or from the song. You should really interact with the drums. It's really important that your bass clicks in with your drums. So they got it right with this song. The bass really actually with the 808 also. Let's go back to the 808 and listen. So you see how you're just working with the drums, like it's knocking with the drums. And then here we have another bass line played. There were three different bass lines played in the song. That's the 808, then the regular bass line here, and then this one here. So that's just pretty much it. Then also what they did with this song, there were no serious drum rolls. What they just had were silence to create the transition effects. Same thing here. So there are many ways to make your beat sound interesting without drum rolls. Sometimes you may take out some parts of the song, you may take out some part of the drums, some part of the keys, or you may even play an entirely new melody. Like in this part, for example, let me come to this place here. This is a better example. So you see this melody here. So it gave like an easier flow into the verse. So there are many ways to create transition into a different part of the song, from the verse to the chorus, from the chorus to the verse, intro to the verse, intro to bridge. Depends on the part of the song, but there are many ways to create a transition. Sometimes a drum roll may not be what you need. You may just need silence. You may need to strip down some elements. Sometimes you may never need to do anything at all and to still sound really good. So it's just about listening to the song and trusting your decisions also. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, we have the intro. Sorry, we have the intro of the song here. It was played like this. So I layered two sounds. For one from Nexus, grand piano from Nexus. Then I also layered it with the nylon guitar from Purity. Let me take one off so I listen. Then, like the piano gives it the bass, like the low end feel, then the guitar gives it the high end feel. So that's pretty much it for this song. Things I feel you should take away, the obvious things I feel you should take away, aside many other things, is the use of melodies. There were a lot of melodies in this song, but at the same time they were not conflicting, rather they were complementing. They complemented each other. It was easy to flow with, and it was also easy for the artists to sing and do their backup and do like really express themselves without trying to conform to how the melody was sounding. So that's something you should take note of. Do not overproduce that your melodies become conflicting to what the artist is singing. Secondly, the structure is very simple, and they didn't use excess drum rolls like what you're expecting a lot of in a lot of Afro pop or Afrobeat songs. Rather, they use just space and breaks and some melody roll-offs to introduce new parts and new sections of the song. And also sometimes feel free to have more than one bass line or have different elements playing the bass. Like in this song, they used 808, a regular bass with two different styles in the song. So these are ways you can spice up your track without overproducing or without doing too much. Sometimes you can just make it really simple. And this track was a very simple track, and it's a smashing hit song already. And of course, featuring Nicki Minaj. So I love this song. So I had to do the remake, and yeah. So that's pretty much it for this episode of Beat Breakdown. For the tutorial, hit the subscribe button, share, hit the thumbs up, comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like for me to talk more on. You want me to talk more on how the chords, how I play the chords or the melodies or the drums, or how I pick out the drum sample. Just let me know what you'd like to learn more, and I'll surely make a video of it. So yeah, hit the subscribe button. Remember your boy, Sir Classy. See you in the next episode. Cheers.